Right, so let's look at ArrayList methods. ArrayLists aren't that bad, really, but sometimes people find themselves getting confused because they're like, well, how do I make one? Or how do I add something to one? Well, here we go. So let's say the name of your list is list and it holds strings. Well, how do you find the size? Well, that's list.size. Okay, so you're going to use that like in your for loop to tell you how many times to go through, stuff like that. Okay, if you want to add something, there's two ways to add it. One is kind of like add it at the end, and the other is basically like insert, but they don't give it a different name. They don't call it insert. I want you to be familiar with this capital E here. The capital E just means it has to be of the same type of whatever's in your list. So let's say it's a list of strings. Well, you're only going to be able to add strings. Let's say it's Pokemon. You're only going to be able to add Pokemon. Let's say it's rectangles. You're only going to add rectangles. So let's say ours is a list of strings. So I just say I'm going to list.add booger. Okay. Now, again, list, I'm saying that's the name of my list. So if it's called something else, if it's called address list, then you'd say address list.add. Okay. And this won't always be a word. As a matter of fact, usually it won't. Usually it'll be, something that you've referenced elsewhere. Okay. Current name or something like that. But it's got to be of that same type from your list. Okay. Only difference here is we're specifying where we're adding it. When we added it before, it just stuck it right at the end of our list. Here, we get to say where we want to add it. So list.add, and now I'm going to say where I want to add it. Okay, again, index comes first, then the object, because that's what it says. So at 2, I'm going to put booger in my list, and everything else is going to move down, I guess technically, to the right. Move to the right on the list. It's going to shift over. Okay. Now, this is the thing that confuses most people. You need a getter and a setter on lists. You can't just reference something in a list. You've got to call the getter. So list.get3 is going to get whatever lives at index 3. Okay. Oops. And then the setter is if you need to change the value. So list.set 3 and change it to booger. So what it's going to do is it's going to change the value at 3 to booger. It will also return the old value if you need it. You don't have to use it, but it will go ahead and return it. And this will return whatever it is that you asked for. All right, if you want to get rid of something from a list, it's just list.remove, and then whatever index you wanted to remove. Keep in mind, this will also return it if you want it. You don't have to use the thing that it returns, but it'll do that. All right, and don't forget how to construct an array. So array list of whatever type I want. So maybe I want strings, or maybe I want integers. Okay, for now let's just do string equals new array list string, and then I need my parentheses because I'm calling that constructor. It's a method that I'm calling. Okay? And that's just about everything you need to know about ArrayList methods.